Welcome. Welcome to Sapphire Ridge News. They're having a little bit of difficulty today. Hopefully everybody will be able to find this and pile in here. The other stream suddenly got short. I didn't even get 3 minutes, and it come up with an error and then said the stream has ended, blah, blah, blah. So I come right back. Well, let's go ahead and get going with our stream. Hopefully they'll pile in. Jerome Powell, he's the Fed chairman. He is supposed to be non-political, yet 2 weeks before the election, he cut interest rates. He was asked to cut interest rates now. He said no. Then went on this tirade saying that he was independent, that Trump could not fire him only for cause. Well, trying to tank the economy, I would count as cause. I would say tanking the economy, that's cause. You're fired. Out the door. Don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out the door, right? Do not let the door hit you in the butt on the way out, right? Yep. We have interesting times that we're living in. The other thing we can talk about is these outrageous, tyrannical, lawless judges. I call them lawless. Ordering, like with this deal with uh, Garcia, The dude has 4 names. The judge ordering the president to return Garcia. I just don't know where these judges get off thinking that an unelected judge can tell the executive branch what they can do and what they can't do. That is just beyond the pale. Hey, Julianne, sorry about yesterday. I laid down for a short nap at like 11 o'clock. I had this planned for 4, and I woke up at 5:30. I usually don't take long naps like that during the day. Usually 20, 30 minutes, and I'm good for the rest of the day. So, yeah, I saw that. The Supreme Court is also due to step in on these nationwide injunctions. I don't trust the Supreme Court. Amy Coney Barrett will side with the liberals and say, oh no, 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 we can't do that. We need to stop all nationwide injunctions. It needs to go back to your injunction can only pertain to the parties standing in front of you. Yeah, that's why I don't trust them to make the right decision on the nationwide TROs. And there's no one above SCOTUS to go to and say, hey, you sure fucked this one up, right? So do you like the new background? Instead of having the drapes on in the background, it has flashing stars. Here, let me see something. Remove me and then put me back. Did you get to see that? Yeah. He mentioned them, but he didn't say what they were, whether it was plasmoids or teleportation devices. Then he said something about that there's one that they can make like a circle in the sky in front of an airliner, and the airliner will fly right through it and off into Never Never Land. That's kind of crazy kind of stuff, right? You know what I thought of? I thought, what if they're working on some kind of Star Trek type of weapons, phasers and photon torpedoes and stuff like that? But the issue with that is they found some of the wreckage, but not all of it. Did they not make the hole for the plane big enough? That I did not know. I did not know that there was semiconductor specialists that were um, defecting. Boy, that pond looks so much better. You sit out there now, instead of hearing this splash, 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 you hear trinkle, trinkle, trinkle. Because I went from a 3-inch size hole to to a 3/4 inch PVC and lay it on top of the brick. Right, it doesn't. Well, the one that I saw was was a like a red circle, like a reddish orange circle, and then the plane flew through the circle, and when it did, The plane looked like it was just melting. Free energy. I don't know nothing that's actually free. It always costs something to make. Like they tell you, s- solar is free energy from the sun. Well, you got to buy the solar panels, you got to buy the batteries, you got to buy the wiring, you got to maintain all that stuff. I tried going solar when I lived in Florida. It was the biggest pain in the neck. I, hold on, I'm going to have to switch to the iPhone mic because my earpods are saying low battery, low battery. They're yelling at me. And the minute I take them out, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Because when the air conditioner's running or the dishwasher is running, the iPad mic picks all that stuff up and echoes it. If I have somebody call in, anything that they have on, if I don't use the ear pods, it picks up whatever's in the background for them and echoes it on my end and your end. So I use the iPods, which I need to just get the Apple ones and be done with it instead of having to charge these overnight for 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, she's begging money for lawyers, all right. She got herself in what they used to call a sticky wicket. She's in a deep pile of trouble. Big trouble. Down south, they used to call that big dog trouble. So hopefully, SCOTUS will check the judges with this TRO stuff. I'm not counting on them. I wish they would, because it's the right thing to do. The judge is supposed to make rulings on pertaining to the people that are standing in front of him in his court. And these people are in California, stopping the government from sending people to wherever, stopping the government from hiring or firing people. This is just absurd. It's like Andrew Branca said the other day, we're in the midst of a judicial tyranny. And he went on to say that if the Supreme Court doesn't snap back at these lower court judges, then we're in a lot of trouble. I like Andrew. He's one of us. He's from Colorado, but he's one of us. And when this stuff was going down about Garcia, and it's still going down about Garcia, it's like, what the hell? This is just craziness. The Supreme Court told that judge to clarify her order and give deference to the White House for foreign policy. So that night, the judge wrote an order that told them that they had until 9:30 the next morning to return Garcia as the Supreme Court ordered. That is not what the Supreme Court ordered. I get so tired of these stupid moron judges that don't understand the law. Oh, I'm a judge now, so I can say bubblegum and fire sticks equals the law. It's supposed to be bubblegum and firecrackers. It's just craziness. You know what I mean? I heard that Fannie Willis is going to be in a whole lot of trouble too, because the Judiciary Committee with Jim Jordan sent her another letter for documents and saying this time failure to supply the documents would lead to harsh consequences. She should have had her harsh consequences already. Right. And that's what they're trying to get. Who at the White House did she see? Who did they meet with? There's logs where they have to sign in digitally now. It used to be all on paper. Now they got an iPad kind of thing there, like a kiosk, and you sign in, and you have to put who you have an appointment to see, how long your appointment is expected to last, and so on and so forth. They've got all of that already, but they're petitioning for her records that shows how long she was there and stuff. Because she made the mistake of saying, well, we didn't meet with nobody. No, we didn't do that. I didn't ever been to the White House. It's like they got you on record going to the White House 3 different times before Trump was charged. Like in the couple weeks before he was charged. And then that whole nonsense of leaking the indictment at noon, and the jury had not made their final decision until like 6. Yeah, Fannie needs to be put in jail for that kind of shenanigans. Yeah, well, the only issue with Trump pardons, Trump can only pardon federal crimes. If it's a state crime, Trump cannot pardon it. Has to be that governor that does that. And Brian Kemp is about as wishy-washy as a rhino as they get. So I watched Carl DeMaio this week. I know you watch him. The AG overturned the false indictments. She can cancel a pending indictment or withdraw it, they call it. But once it goes to court, if it was under the previous administration, it would take a pardon to take care of that. We started talking about Carl DeMaio. Carl DeMaio said this last week that there's a good chance for Republicans to turn California red. I hope so. Send a shiver down all of their spines, right? Well, I think voter ID should be in every state. That's how you take care of voter corruption. They have to prove who they are when they get to the poll. Lee Zeldin was funny the other day. They asked him about the CARB emissions and them going nationwide. He said, "Oh no, that ain't happening." He said, "If California wants to screw over their citizens, that's on them. But we are not going to let states piggyback onto one state's law and screw over the rest of the country." I thought that was interesting. I agree that illegals are bankrupting California, but you have a governor and a legislature that doesn't care about your citizens. The Democrats don't care, and the Democrats are in charge, right? Yeah. Well, I'm going to get off of here. I just wanted to let you know, yeah, I'm okay. I slept forever yesterday, which I usually don't ever do that. So we will catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.